Knock at the Cabin invites moviegoers to once again step into the twisty world of M. Night Shyamalan. As usual, there's more going on between the credits than you might expect. After the opening credits, the film cuts to a young girl named Wynn sitting in an open field, attempting to put grasshoppers in a jar. Afterwards, she uses colored pencils to write cute notes and statistics about the various grasshoppers, which she even assigns names. Not long after, the film introduces Dave Bautista's burly but sensitive character, Leonard, who approaches Wynn. Despite some initial hesitation in speaking with a stranger, she has a conversation with Leonard where he reveals he too enjoys capturing grasshoppers. He urges her to be gentle, so as not to spook them, foreshadowing what's to come. Essentially, all four of the strangers with prophetic visions will trap the family in their cabin and try their best to keep the hostages calm as they consider sacrificing one of their own. Obviously, this doesn't go well. These efforts at gentle enclosure include attending to their medical needs, keeping Wynn safe, and giving their backstories to help humanize themselves. The cabin itself is an allegory for the grasshopper jar. As they enter, there is no chance for escape. When Leonard first appears talking to Wynn, the camera begins acting unsettlingly off balance, tilting further as the conversation progresses. Known as a Dutch angle, the effect is employed to help create a jarring, eerie, off-center feel. Director M. Night Shyamalan uses the technique repeatedly to portray Leonard's torn psychological state. The man has a task he doesn't want to do, which involves him killing, torturing, and carrying the burden of the fate of the entire world on his mind. Everything in his worldview is thus off-center and not quite right.
If you fail to choose, the world will end.
The use of the Dutch angle is also in keeping with Shyamalan's 90s thriller theme. Classic 90s films that crafted an off-kilter feel with Dutch angles include 12 Monkeys, Mission Impossible, and The City of Lost Children. After the four strangers with visions invade the cabin and tie up Andrew and Eric while keeping an eye on Wynn, the flat-screen TV shows a colorful animated cartoon, presumably something Wynn was watching before going to catch grasshoppers earlier that day. Afterwards, Leonard attempts to keep things as light and stress-free as possible, saying the show looks fun and educational. He then adds that, like a lot of children's entertainment, the show seems determined to instill in kids a sense of empathy and understanding. Afterwards, Leonard leads the other strangers to open up about their past, their jobs, their hopes and dreams.
My son is gonna die.
His name is Charlie.
The point of this, as Eric later says, is to give the family empathy for humanity as a whole, since the people sent to the cabin all represented important aspects of it. Essentially, the family in the film has to make the ultimate sacrifice to save the world. But that sacrifice can't be made in a vacuum. They have to be reminded that if they damn the world, they'll be essentially damning people just like themselves, with families, dreams, and love in their hearts. It's easy for people to be less empathetic when they are shielded or distanced from the suffering of others. But learning to empathize with humanity, whether through a children's show or through learning about people's lives, is imperative. News reports are frequently used as exposition in many types of films, and Shyamalan has certainly used his share. He even appears in a cameo in Knock at the Cabin in an infomercial that airs prior to one such breaking news report. It's a great way to dole out a lot of exposition in a short amount of time, which is great for genre films eager to get backstory out of the way as quickly as possible, and get to the more interesting aspects, such as the twisty narrative. Shyamalan has a unique place in this particular cinematic corner, however, having created one of the best fake news reports in film history. In 2002 Signs, the main family of characters are stuck in their Pennsylvania home, watching a news report of camcorder footage at a Brazilian birthday. During a normal kid's birthday party, the blurry footage suddenly reveals what looks to be a green-skinned humanoid alien. The news report scenes in Knock at the Cabin, particularly the plague of 50-foot tidal waves, is filmed in a similar way as Signs. In both films, a cameraman is filming people having fun, before finding themselves confronted with something beyond their comprehension. Are the strangers who invaded the cabin truly getting horrific visions of the end times, or are they lying to gaslight the family into harming each other as punishment for being a gay couple raising an immigrant child? Are these strangers living a shared delusion based on a deranged echo chamber of internet misinformation? Or could they be correct? One early clue that the film uses to substantiate the validity of their visions and prophecies, as well as the divine will of a vengeful God, is when they kill their first acolyte, Rupert Grint's Redmond. After the family refuses to sacrifice one of their own, Redmond gets on his knees and puts a mask over his head, the other strangers getting their makeshift weapons ready to ritualistically kill him. While this is happening, the viewer can see how robotic and cold they get while performing this sacrificial ritual, with each speaking some ancient prayer in unison. Even Redmond, who was initially frightened, seems calm right before his death. When the deed is done, the surviving invaders become disoriented, perturbed, and sick, with Leonard even vomiting in the sink. This seems to indicate that once they say humanity is judged, they aren't in control. So who or what is? The presence of some higher power or puller of the puppet strings is seemingly confirmed later in the film, as Eric states he saw a glowing figure right before Redmond was executed.